Hey, everybody. We're going to be in child's pose to begin. And you can choose to take the knees wide, or you can keep the thighs kind of touching. You can also play with the position of the big toes and the feet. The big toes can be touching, or you can try to spread your feet apart, like hip width distance apart. So feel free to play around with child's pose today. If you're already in it, see if you can get just a little bit more comfortable. And if you need to add props to your child's pose, like sometimes a pillow or couch cushion can be helpful underneath the backs of the thighs and on top of the calves, just to give your hips, your knees a little extra support. And we'll see if we can relax that forehead down towards the floor, maybe roll it side to side. And it's okay if the forehead's not touching anything tangible. We're not going to be here too long. And just start to notice the breath, deep breath in. Nice long breath out. Let's take about 2 more breaths in our first shape today, our first child's pose. Notice how the low back feels and the hips feel in this position. We're going to do some more exploration of the hip movement. So hips are 360-degree ball and socket joints. So they do have a wide range of motion. And so we're going to work on all of that movement. And sometimes that can translate up into the low back and the torso. So just paying attention to how you feel as we go throughout our practice in that area of the body. On our next inhale breath, we'll come forward into tabletop shape. You can start to stack your knees underneath your hips and your wrists underneath your shoulders. And we'll take a few rounds of cat and cow here. So as you breathe in, lift your heart, lift your tailbone. As you breathe out, tuck your chin under, tuck your tailbone under. And then start to find your own rhythm and your own pace with that. A few rounds. Breath on your own in your cat and cow. Good. And then we're going to extend the right leg off to the right side. So you're going to take your right foot off of the mat, straight out of that hip socket. See if you can plant the sole of that right foot down, right toes pointing forward. And your hands are still underneath your shoulders. I'm going to try and add some cat and cow here too, but a little bit of movement in the hips back towards that left heel. So as we inhale, we'll find that back bend-like shape. If you want a little bit more out of that, you can come up onto your fingertips. So it's not going to be a big, huge movement with the spine. And then on the exhale, we're going to shift those hips back. You're going to kind of lean towards that left hip, keeping that right leg extended out to the right side. And then inhale, come forward, draw the heart forward, lift the tailbone up a little. And then exhale, pull those hips back. You can tuck your chin under. You can come into almost even like a child's pose here. Variation. And let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, pull the heart forward. If this is bothering your knee, just don't go as far. Maybe you stay in a more stable position in the hips and you just work on that mobility in the spine, more like just a traditional cat and cow. 1 more time, come forward. And then on our exhale, we're going to replace that right knee underneath the right hip. And we'll switch sides. So left leg's going to extend straight out to the left side of the mat. So it's not even on the mat at this point. Sole of that left foot, you're trying to get it flat-ish. It's okay if it's not completely flat, but try for that. Left toes pointing forward, or your right knee is still underneath your right hip. And then maybe you play with the hand variation. You could come up onto the fingertips as you pull your heart forward. It's a little back bend. It's not a big, big movement. And then our exhale, we'll find this either cat-like shape in the spine, or we can sink the hips all the way back towards that right heel in a child's pose-like shape. Either way, you're just finding movement in the spine, a little bit of movement in the hips maybe, and noticing how this feels on the low back, and also that inner left thigh. Try to add that movement with the breath. So just like in our cat and cow, when we inhale, we find our back bend. And when we exhale, we pull those hips back, we round the spine. 2 more times. 2 more breaths. One more time, all the way through your movement pattern. Good. And then we'll come forward again. Slide that left knee back into its place, and then extend your right leg back behind you. We're going to come into this variation of a supported side plank. So right foot back behind you, left toes swiveling out to the left side, kind of like a little kickstand, right arms reaching up. You're in a supported side plank. From here, float those right toes off the floor. Already, maybe you can start to feel that right hamstring muscle engage. Take a big breath in and then try to bend your right knee towards, right heel towards your glute, and then maybe reach back with your right hand, see if you can catch hold of the ankle. It's okay if the hand and the ankle don't connect. Just try to reach the hand and the foot in the same direction. Deep breath in here. Nice long breath out, stay with it. Inhale, re-extend the limbs, right leg, right arm, and then exhale back to your tabletop. Deep breath in, lift your heart. Exhale, round out. Second side, so our left leg's going to extend back behind us. We'll spin that left foot flat. And then you might bring your right toes behind you like a little kickstand as you reach your left arm high. So you're stacking your left shoulder on top of your right shoulder. Same thing with the hips. And then let's flex the left toes towards the face. Float your left foot off the mat. Bend the knee. You're squeezing that heel bone towards the glute. Reach back with your left hand. You can just hold here and reach, or maybe you catch a hold of the ankle. Either way, take a nice deep breath in. Press your pelvis forward. Nice and broad across your chest. Stay for your exhale. And then on your inhale, re-extend the left side of the body. And then come back to your tabletop shape. One more time, cat and cow. Inhale to lift your heart. Exhale, round out. And now inhale, come forward with your hands. Walk your hands one handprint forward. Tuck your toes under here. Press into your hands and the feet. Lift the hips high, downward facing dog. Just start to pedal out your feet, bend your knees right and left. You can also play with lifting and lowering both heel bones. That'll kind of activate the calf muscles, and you can see where you're at in terms of ankle mobility today. Get a little bit of blood flowing down into the legs, calf muscles, Achilles tendons, soles of the feet. So let this first exploration of downward facing dog be more dynamic in nature. So add some movement somehow. Relax your head. Maybe you shake it out, right, left, yes, no. And let's inhale, lift those heel bones high, bend the knees, press into your hands, and then lengthen the body forward into a high plank. Pause there, deep breath in. Exhale, press into the hands, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. We're gonna move in and out of our high plank to our downward facing dog. But I want us to add this little lift of the heel bones, bend of the knees. See if you can get longer in your spine, and then shift forward to your high plank. Pause and settle in your high plank. Deep breath in. Exhale, lift those hips high, downward facing dog. Settle into that down dog. And one more time, we'll lift those heel bones, bend the knees. You're pressing your belly towards your thighs. And then you're pressing into the ball mounds of the feet and the tippy toes to lengthen forward into your high plank. pause there, settle, deep breath in. Nice long breath out. Lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Pause there, deep breath in. Long breath out. Get your big toes to touch at the back of your mat. Sweep your right leg up and back. Bend the right knee, point it towards the ceiling. And then kind of like we did in our side plank variation, we're trying to squeeze that right heel bone towards the glute. See if you can get a little stretch sensation across the top of your right thigh. So pressing down evenly through both hands, pressing the chest towards that left knee. Deep breath in. And then as you breathe out, re-extend your right leg, sweep it forward. See if you can plant your right foot outside of your right hand. So it's a wide-legged low lunge. You can always scoop up your calf muscle and help your foot come forward until it reaches the top of your mat. Let's go ahead and set that left knee down. And then roll to the inner and outer edge of your right foot. You're just kind of wobbling the hips side to side. See if you can sink a little bit lower into the pelvis. And then again, you're just assessing, see how it feels. What's going on today? Notice your breath here. Take one more deep breath in. And then we're going to tuck our back toes, lift the back knee, step your left foot forward outside of the left hand, and then see if you can arrive into some variation of a Malasana squat. So can you keep your heel bones connected and bend your knees deeply? Let your knees, your ankles, your hips stop you wherever that is. So it might not be as low as you want. Maybe the hips are up in line with the knees or a little bit higher. But see if you can stay connected to your heel bones, ball mounts of the feet, and then relax your toes here. Deep breath in. Nice long breath out. Forward fold, turn your toes to point forward. Relax your upper body over your legs. Option to grab those opposite elbows, maybe you sway your body side to side. Relax your head, let it hang heavy. Feel free to keep a generous bend in your knees here in your forward fold. And then let's bring those fingertips to the shins, lengthen the heart forward, come up into a halfway lift. Use the core muscles here. And then exhale back into your forward fold. See if you can bend the knees enough, plant those hands. And now we're going to step the right foot back. Lower the right knee down to the mat. Heel toe that left foot out wide. And then start to roll to the inner and outer edge of your left foot. Kind of just swaying the hips side to side. So you just did the opposite side. Now we're coming into this lunge from a different angle. Second side. See if you can get a little bit lower in your hips, a little bit heavier there. Find your breath. Let's take one more breath here. Now we're going to tuck our back toes, lift our back knee. And so your back leg's already, your right leg's in high plank. See if you can keep that and slide that left foot back to meet the right foot high plank. Once you're there, press into the hands, lift your hips high. Downward facing dog. We'll take 3 breaths here, inhaling through the nose. Open your mouth, exhale. 2 more times. All right, big toes touching back of the mat. Inhale, sweep your left leg up and back. Bend the left knee, squeeze the heel bone towards the glute. You're trying to point that left knee towards the ceiling. Try to get heavy in your right heel bone. Keep even pressure through the palms of your hands. Keep your chest pointing towards your right knee. Relax your head here, deep breath in. On your exhale, re-extend your left leg. Sweep that left foot forward, forward, forward. See if you can replant it to the top of the mat. You were just here. Yes, you're coming back into that exact same position. Now this time we're going to stay posted up on the right hand. Maybe come up to the fingertips. You could always use a block there. Let's sweep that left arm out wide and then up towards the ceiling. So you're rotating the torso, the belly towards the inner left thigh, adding a little twist variation, deep breath in. And then exhale, replant that left palm. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, step your right foot forward. Let's revisit this Malasana squat. So toes slightly turn out, heels slightly turn in. Find your own variation of this Malasana squat. And see if you can just meet yourself where you are in your hips, ankles, knees. Where do you need to stop this? Can you bring that weight back to the heel bone? Stay connected, even if that means your hips are a little bit higher than you want them to be. Let's exhale our way into our forward fold. Turn the toes to point forward, feet parallel. Relax your head here. Maybe bend the knees one at a time or both together. Feel free to grab your opposite elbows. 2 more breaths. Inhale to your halfway lift, fingertips to your shins. Nice and strong through the whole back body and the front of the core muscles. Exhale your way back into your forward fold. We're going to step the left foot back. Widen the right foot out to the side. Let the left knee come down to the mat. Okay, so that wide-legged low lunge. Again, we're going to come up onto the left fingertips maybe, or you could use a block underneath your hand. Stay grounded through your left hand. Sweep your right arm wide and then out to the side and maybe up towards the ceiling. So you're just adding this little rotation through the torso, but see how that translates down into that left hip flexor. That's the top of your thigh. Deep breath in. Exhale, replant that right hand. And then tuck your back toes, lift your back knee so your left leg is in high plank. And then see if you can slide that right foot back into high plank without lifting the hips up. It's just an exploration. If it doesn't happen today, don't worry about it. Okay, press into your hands, lift your hips high. Downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Let's take 2 more breaths here. And this time as you inhale through your nose, as you exhale through your mouth. Okay, big toe is touching back of the mat. We're going to sweep our right leg up and back, bend the knee, open the hip, pause there. Keep rooting down through your right hand and your left hand. And then re-extend your right leg. Exhale, sweep your right foot forward. And this time plant your right foot between your hands. Spin your left foot flat. You're rising up to warrior 2. So right foot forward, left foot flat at the back of the mat. Warrior 2. And so in warrior 2, we're kind of opening the hips out to the side at a bit of an angle. We're maintaining a nice, deep, strong bend in our right knee. So you should feel a little bit of both stretch and muscle activation along the inner right thigh. Quadricep muscle, hamstring, everything's working here in this warrior 1 leg shape. It's a really strong stance. Take a deep breath in here. Nice long breath out. Stay. Take 1 more breath in your warrior 2. And then we're going to come forward into a standing balancing half moon pose. So I like to take my left hand to my left hip, reach those right fingertips forward to the upper right hand corner of your mat for counterbalance. Hop your left foot in some. Start to shift all that body weight to your right foot. as you float your left leg off the mat. So you kind of already did this shape when you were in tabletop. Remember, we went from our supported side plank to this variation where we floated our left foot off the floor. Now, if we want to take that variation here, you could bend the left knee, maybe reach back with the left hand. You could catch a hold of the outer ankle. Now, for me to make that hand to foot connection, I have to pull my knee forward towards my chest, then grab a hold of the ankle, then I pull my foot back and pull my knee back. If you've got the bind, fine, great, breathe. If you've not got the bind, fine, great, still breathe. And then we're gonna bend into our right knee, re-extend the leg and the hand, and then take a soft landing into our warrior two. Now in this warrior two, I want you to make a little bit more space for the hips. So heel toe that right foot out to the right side a few inches, and then start to crawl your hands off to the upper left-hand corner of your mat. And I'm even taking my hands off of the mat. So I'm just reaching my hands forward, forward, forward beyond the upper left-hand corner of the mat, kind of like I'm in downward facing dog in the upper body. Now straighten out through that right leg. It's probably on fire. Pivot your right toes so that they're parallel with your left toes. You're coming into a wide-legged forward fold. I'm going to add a little rotation here. So wide-legged forward fold, feet are parallel, get your feet first. Slightly pigeon toe those toes towards each other. Now you're gonna reach with your right hand to the outer left leg somewhere. Maybe you're catching a hold of the ankle or the calf. Just grab somewhere along the outer left leg with your right hand and pull. So bend your right elbow if you can. Relax your head. Your left hand can be anywhere in front of your body for a little bit of a counterbalance. Stay really rooted through your left leg and start to bend into your right knee. You're not going to go very far with this, so just bend your right knee a little bit and then straighten out through the right leg. Sounds kind of weird, but stay with me. So you're holding on to your left leg with your right hand and you're bending into your right knee. Try it twice more. Keep relaxing your head and your neck. And then re-straighten out through that right leg. Release the hand. We're going to crawl ourselves forward into our lunge back to the top of the mat. And then we'll step back into our high plank. Pause in that high plank. Shift forward to those tippy toes. Lower all the way down to the belly. Untuck the toes, press down to the tops of the feet, the palms of the hands. Inhale, come up to low cobra. Exhale all the way back to the mat. Tuck the toes. Deep breath in. Core is tight. Kneecaps lifted. Exhale, press your way up to supported or high plank. And then lift the hips high. Downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Big toes touching, back of the mat. Sweep your left leg high. Deep breath in. Bend the knee. Point the knee towards the ceiling. Try to stay squared through your shoulders. You're letting your hip do the rotation. Re-extend your left leg long. Sweep that left foot forward. Plant the foot between the hands. Spin the right foot flat. Rise up to warrior two. And then just take a moment to get the foot position here so it feels stable in your body. I think a lot of us have a tendency to shorten up that stance because we're scared that the thigh muscles aren't going to hold us. So see if you can trust your thigh muscles to help you stabilize here. Bend a little bit deeper into the left knee. Maybe you take those toes and wiggle them a little bit more forward towards the top of your mat. Spread your arms out wide. Pause here, breathe. We're going to turn this into our half moon standing balancing shape. Right hand to the right hip. Reach forward, forward, forward to the left-hand corner of your mat with your left hand. And then hop your right foot forward some so you can start to transfer the body weight to the left foot. and then float your right foot off the mat. Flex the toes towards the face. You can stay here and pause and balance in this shape. It's great. Or you can bend that knee, the right knee, maybe reach the right hand back, maybe catch a hold of the ankle. You can always pull the knee forward towards the chest to catch a hold of the ankle and then re-extend the knee behind you. If you're feeling wobbly here, welcome to being human. So am I. Your little stabilizer muscles are just trying to figure out what you're doing and how to help you. Take a moment to breathe into that. And then let's re-extend the limbs on the right side. Bend into your left knee to land into your warrior two. And then we're going to heel toe that left foot just a few inches off to the left side so that we have space to bring our hands down and crawl them forward beyond the right side of your mat. It's like that upper right hand corner of the mat. And so it's kind of like downward facing dog in the upper body, warrior two in the legs. One more breath here. Left thigh is on fire. Yes, it's doing the good work of getting stronger. Let's start to walk the hands to the center and then pivot. So straighten out through your left leg and then pivot your left toes so they're parallel with your right toes. You're coming into that wide-legged forward fold. Now you're facing the right side of your mat. Okay, so now we're going to take our left hand, reach it across to the right leg. So left hand to right leg, anywhere you can grab onto the leg. That could be the calf muscle, it could be the ankle, it could be the foot, wherever. And then see if you can give it a little pull. It's a little bend in that left elbow. Your right hand can stay wherever to help you counterbalance. See if you can shift some more body weight forward into the ball mounds of the feet. And then we're going to take 3 knee bends on our left leg. So you're just bending the left knee and straightening it out. And it does not need to be a big movement. Little baby bend of the left knee and then straighten it out. One more time. Hands back underneath their shoulders. Crawl your way forward to the top of your mat into your lunge. Step your way back into your high plank. If you want a final vinyasa flow, feel free to take it. Otherwise, meet me in child's pose. So back to the beginning of our practice where we started in our child's pose, hips relaxing back towards the heels, or maybe you're using a pillow underneath the glute muscles to help those hips relax back onto something more solid. So wedging a prop in between the calves and the upper thighs can be helpful here if you're struggling with that range of motion in the knees. And it's okay for there to be space in between the hips and the heels. There definitely is for me. It's okay for there to be space between the forehead and the mat. Just get as heavy as you can in your body. Let it be what it is. Take one more breath. And we're going to turn around and lay down on our back. Prepare a few more little movements. We're going to take a twist here just to help the low back lengthen and find neutral. So hugging those knees into the chest, you're laying on your back. We're going to send both knees off to the left side and extend your right arm off to the right side. Nice and open through the chest. Breathing in and out through your nose here if you can. One more breath. Knees back through center. And then second side, knees off to the right side, left arm stretching wide off to the left side. Try to stay grounded through your shoulders, especially that left shoulder. If it wants to pop up off the ground, maybe you need some support underneath your outer right thigh. So what that tells me is the torso, the legs, the hips are wanting to pull you further into rotation than your spine can handle at the moment. So support yourself with props if needed. Let's take one more breath here. We'll unwind, we'll come onto our back. If you want to take something like Happy Baby, surely can. And then when you're ready, lengthening out into your final rest, Savasana. We'll take 1 minute. Relaxing your shoulder blades down the back, slightly tilting the chin in towards the chest, letting the eyes flutter closed. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Let it go, let it rest. Shavasana. Feel free to close your practice here on your back. If you'd like to come with me, I'm going to stretch my arms over my head, bend both knees, roll off to a side, and then gently press up to a seated position. Either way, if you're staying on your back or if you're coming to that upright seat, maintaining that internal focus, that internal gaze. Let's take 3 rounds of Brahmari breath. That's our inhale by the nose. Our exhale is a very gentle hum. It's a vibration at the back of your throat. So empty all the air out of the lungs. Deep breath in, we begin. Keep going 2 more times. Let go of Brahmari breath. If you'd like to, you could join your hands together at the heart and bow the chin into the chest, offering reverence and gratitude for the practice to all of our teachers, past, present, future, to the teacher within your own heart. Namaste, yogis.